news, or social media, you may know that climate change and carbon emission reductions are increasingly becoming buzzwords in the international community in recent years. Today, the EVE team and experts in the field of carbon will have a relevant exchange and communicate with you. Do anyone in our webcast know any carbon reduction policy and the measures taken by governments and enterprises in developing countries? In this webcast, our team and a senior expert, Kevin Young, in carbon reduction, will introduce the concept and actions taken by the Chinese government and Chinese companies to reduce carbon emissions, taking China, one of the largest developing countries in the world, as an example. Today's live topic is divided into four main parts. The first part is introduction of EVE and China's carbon targets, and the next is the action of EVE and the supply chain in carbon reduction. And then is the introduction of EVE's advanced energy storage solutions. Finally, we are going to talk about EVE's mission and goals and roundtable discussions. Now, let us welcome the distinguished guests to the stage and introduce themselves briefly. Welcome. Let's all say hello to the audiences, and then let's get started with today's presentation. Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Samuel from EVE.
Hello, I'm Kevin Young. I come from the SGS Group.
Hello, I'm Jack Wang. I'm from EVE company, and I am carbon management engineer.
Hi everyone, this is Chloe. Is mainly in charge of the sales of overseas ESS product.
Hello everyone, this is Anya from EV Supply Chain Center, and I will be the one to talk about supply chain sustainability today.
Okay, thank you. And now we would like to invite Mr. Song to deliver his speech first.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My responsibility is environment, energy, health, safety, and sustainability affairs. Before we start today's topic, could I ask you a question? How is the weather in your area right now? Some place may be sunny, some place may be snowing, and some place may be drizzling. But either way, I'm sure today is a nice day. However, as all you know, there are still some regions in the world that are suffering from certain harsh environments, such as acid rain, land desertification, and extreme weather. Most of these harsh environments are due to environmental imbalance caused by the greenhouse effect. And the excessive greenhouse gas emissions are from human production and living. An important fact that cannot be ignored. In order to prevent irreversible damage to the environment in more areas due to the continuous increase of greenhouse gases, it is the common mission of every individual and organization to reduce carbon emissions. EVE, as a company rooted in the sustainable energy industry, contribute to the sustainable development of mankind with our creativity, and we believe that sustainability is the only path for the future development of our company. EVE is a high-quality lithium battery platform company, providing customers with comprehensive solutions for consumer and power batteries. And products are widely used in the Internet of Things and Energy Internet. insist on innovation-driven development. Our company was founded in 2001. EVE has 6 production sites in China and set up sales companies and office in Jiangsu Province, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and the United States and Germany. Long-term distributors and strategic partners are throughout Europe and Asia, forming a global sales and service network. Dr. Liu Jinchen, the founder of EVE and also the president of Research Institute. He has been engaged in the research of lithium batteries for more than 67 years. His research institute is led by more than 60 doctors, and he has an R&D team of more than 2,000 people. There are 15 battery research centers, 10 large-scale labs, more than 200 precision instruments, and participate in the formulation of more than 60 industry standards. Our main products: lithium primary batteries, small lithium-ion batteries, cylindrical cells, square ternary cells, ferrophosphate batteries, pouch cells, large cylindrical cells, power and energy storage system. From this figure, we can see that EV's consumer batteries can be used in at least 12 application scenarios in our family. For example, smart wearables, vacuum cleaner, TWS headsets, automotive electronic, smart speaker, smart security, power tool, power meter, night electric vehicle, garden tool, electric atomizer, and so on. EVE helps to realize the infinite possibility of lithium battery and smart knife. And there will be more consumer scenario applications related to our batteries in the future. In the application market, our power battery serve Daimler, Hyundai, Kia, and other international car companies. And we have received long-term orders from BMW Group, Jaguar Land Rover, and are widely used in the market of new energy cars, buses, special purpose vehicles, electric ships, construction machinery, electric power storage, communication energy storage, and home energy storage. According to the data of industry institutions, the global power batteries installed capacity in the first half of 2021, EVE ranks among the top 10 in the world. Power battery is the key development directions of our company, will maintain rapid growth in the future. And the accelerated transformation of global vehicle electrification and the promotion of dual carbon policy, EVE responds to the call to make outstanding contribution to human sustainable development by actively laying out in the trillion-dollar market of power energy storage. In 2025, our company strives to achieve a revenue of more than 100 billion. Our company's goal is to become a top 5 global power battery companies with market share of over 10% in 2030. Thank you. That's the introduction about my company. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel Sang will come from it. So the Vice President Samuel Sang have introduced the EVA company. Okay, let's turn into the next section. Here now is Kevin Young in order to let you know better understand the concept of carbon emission reductions. In China, he will give a brief introduction of China's understanding of carbon emission reduction and China's action plan. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kevin Yang. I come from the SGS Group, Knowledge Department. My responsibility is Energy Product Manager. Today, I will share the first topic about the China 2 carbon goals. In the just past Beijing Winter Olympic Games, I believe that the China opening ceremony has left a deep impression on everyone. The torch's innovative uses of hydrogen fuel as an energy resource is the first time in the history of the Olympic Games. This shows the China's commitment to a low carbon as the world's the largest developing country. And at the same time, it shows the commitment, the romance of the Chinese people. I want to share our China's 2 carbon goals in the 3 parts. Part 1 is our ambition. First, I want to share our achievements. China is currently the world's second largest economy, and its GDP is accepted to account of more than 18% of the global economy in 2021. China is known as the world factory, so the carbon emission are the largest, one of the highest in the world. The China promise the carbon neutrality time will be complete in 2060, which will be much shorter than that of developed countries. So the challenges China face are enormous. And the second, I will want to share is our plan. We plan to the carbon peak emissions by 2030 and be carbon neutrality by 2060. The third, our Chinese dream is national rejuvenation and common prosperity. Part 2 is our challenge. First, the China's energy structure still mainly use the coal as the main energy source. In addition, power generation statistics in 2020, the proportion of the thermal power generated reached the 68.5%, but the figure was 81.7% 10 years ago. The second, the economic gap between the Western and the Eastern China is very large, and it is difficult to balance the economic growth and the carbon reduction. Third, to achieve carbon neutrality requires powerful digital power grid technology, CCUS technology, and the new energy technology and energy storage technology. Part 3, our solutions. The first one, first of all, let me share you with the plan of our China's visible hand. First, the government established the green and the low carbon regulations and the laws, established government assessment indicators, and from the focus on the energy consumption control to the carbon emission control. And the second, we encouraged enterprises to build a green manufacturing system, encourage the green consumption by the public, and increase green and low carbon requirements for investment projects. A third, increase the efforts to support the development of green industry and promote the development of green energy, green storage, and recycling industries. And secondly, I will share you our invisible hand. First, China has launched 7 carbon trading markets in 2011. And the last year, we have launched a national carbon trading market. China will be the largest carbon trading market of the world in the future. Second, in order to achieve the carbon peak, China has launched the energy using rights trading in 4 provinces, so that the goals of controlling total energy consumption can be controlled. The third, China has already launched electricity trading market. Through the price adjustment of this transaction, it will help get the users to use electricity in a rational and orderly, and make the power system load can be stability. This is good help to connect a large amount of new energy to power system in the future. And finally, I will share you the tech breakthrough. In the China's 36th plan, it is mentioned that by 2060, the installed capacity of wind power and solar power should be reached more than 1.2 billion kW, and the energy issue can be reached 80%. First, we need to build a large number of new energy projects, such as wind power and the solar power. And therefore, we need to continuously to improve the efficiency of the new energy and carbon reduction. Second, vigorously promote the energy storage technology. The power generation of the new energy is very unstable. For example, when it is a sunny day, it will generate more power. But if today is a rainy or cloudy day, the system will generate less power. But this situation is not good news to stability of the power system. As you know, as users, our demand is to be able to use electricity whenever I want to. But how do we solve this problem? We need to store this unstable electricity. We should store. In other words, we need to improve energy storage technology. At present, the main energy storage solutions are pumped storage power station and the electrochemical energy storage. However, the former cannot be applied in many places. Why? Because of its high geographical requirements. So the electrochemical energy store will be in the future. The third, the store electricity needs to be distributed and the use is smart. Therefore, the technology of digital power grid is also very important. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yang, for your presentation. Okay, Mr. Yang have a brief introduction to China dual carbon policy. Up next is Jack Wang. He is going to speak about EVE action in carbon reduction. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Jack Wang, Carbon Management Engineer in UE Company. After the introduction of the last session, I believe you should have a preliminary understanding of the concept of carbon emission reduction in China. Next, let me introduce to you the action EVE has taken and the achievement of carbon reduction. As a company committed to making outstanding contribution to the sustainable development of mankind, EVE has made a commitment to sustainable development, and we pay attention to managing energy consumption, including pollutant and carbon dioxide consumption, and dioxide emission, excellent use and recycling in our products. Natural resources consumption in our business activities. These are important things to do and to improve our sustainability. And apart from that, we will continue to develop new technology, new process, new products, and new customer service. Additionally, we will increase the proportion of renewable energy application of energy storage technologies, and we are focused on green and intelligent manufacturing and lay out the recycling industry chain of use lithium battery to reduce the impact of the environment. And these directions are the guiding pace for the company to save energy and reduce carbon, and we will move steadfastly in this direction and reach the end of our carbon neutrality. So firstly, we are insisting on optimizing our energy structure, develop a roadmap for renewable energy utilization, and achieve carbon emission reduction in our manufacturing process by outsourcing green energy, green power in various ways. In our factories near the Changjiang River Basin, we purchase 100% hydropower to replace traditional fossil fuel and energy sources to minimize and to cut carbon emission in the process of energy use. Okay, let us move in on the next session. In this session, we have also actively laid out the construction of distributed PV power plants. As you can see on the screen, we've used factory rooftops and parking lots to build these PV power plants. And now we put it into operation with the total capacity with about 20 megawatt, which can generate 20 million kilowatt hours of green electricity per year, and reduce carbon dioxide emission by about 17,000 tons. And in the future, every new factory will be planned for solar power plants, and we are also exploring the use of wind power generation technology. Okay, let us turn into the next section. In the picture, you can see the right. There is Cho water storage equipment, and the left is electronic chemical energy storage system, and we will build them in our plant to reduce carbon dioxide and our carbon consumption during plant operation by means of picking, shaving, and valley filling. The Cho storage tanks can achieve carbon reduction of about 40,000 tons per year. Moreover, we've explored the reasonable combination between the scale of the two storage equipment and the operating conditional of the plan to improve our energy efficiency at low cost. We will equip each new plant with the corresponding scale of energy storage and chill storage equipment to continuously reduce our carbon emissions. Okay, let's move in on the next section. In this part, I will introduce transportation electrification. As you can see, there are 3 electric cars on the screen, and our group encourages employees to use electric vehicle for commuting a carbon reduction. So we buy a lot of electric buses and cars, and currently there are about 850 electric commuting vehicles used by employees, with a mileage of about 50,000 kilometers per year, which can reduce CO2 emission by about 13,000 tons. And in the future, we will continue to use this good approach to reduce our carbon footprint. We will select sites in areas which in new renewable energy promote the electrification of commuting, build low carbon factories, and continue to provide low carbon products to society through solar and wind power station. And we will plan to build a combined heat and power station and outsource the green power. In addition to EV's direct approach to limiting carbon emission and achieve an extraordinary results, we will also actively use intelligent and digital production method and monitoring management on the intelligent and then on the production side, which not only enhance production efficiency and reduce production defect, but also indirectly save our carbon emission in the production process. And next, let's watch a video and how we achieve intelligent and digital production. Okay, through watching our smart manufacturing process, you must be feel amazing, isn't it? This is because we focus on R&D and we spend a lot of money on this area. Okay, let us turn into the next section. I'm going to talk about energy saving project in our company. Since 2012, EV has been supporting and carry out a series of energy-saving technology renovation project for production process and basic equipment every year to reduce energy consumption and improve energy efficiency in the production process. And then I will briefly present a case study of an energy efficiency cooling drone in operation at our plant. This project was carried out by upgrading the water storage cooling technology, optimizing the pump operation strategy and pumping design. We select high energy efficiency equipment and use intelligent control system to realize the startup control strategy for different loads and automatically to adjust the equipment operation. So there, the equipment and system are in energy saving and efficient operation. And after the upgrading, we achieved a 43% improvement in the energy efficiency of the drone operation. And because of it, we reached the highest energy efficiency level and the national and in our company, we built this to reach the national standard. We passed the certification of obtain the energy saving incentive funds of 3.73 million Chinese yuan. And in the company, we are also developing a special energy saving incentive mechanism and reward department with excellent energy saving projects results every year. And up to now, hundreds of energy saving projects have been carried out across the group. In addition, we will regularly conduct professional energy saving training class and publicity, energy saving knowledge and concept, as you can see in the right picture, and which will enhance the energy saving awareness of our employees. Okay, move on the next part. In this part, I will talk about our achievement of in the carbon reduction. We will build an energy management system and environmental management system, which will guide us to set energy efficiency target, purchase low energy consumption equipment. We use Internet of Things technology and cloud platform to dispatch energy using equipment. We are continuously carry out clean production and improve production efficiency. We will use these methods to reduce solid waste and energy emissions to increase proportion of renewable energy, renewable metal utilization. And through years of effort, EVE has won several honors in clean and green production by now. For example, 2 major factories have been awarded as national green factories. You can see on the screen, which both has been assessed as clean production enterprise, and 2 production has certified by national institution as green design products. And in addition, we build electrochemical energy storage equipment and a circular economic green supply chain to reuse waste material in the production process. A green supply chain will help us to reduce carbon emission of raw materials. And by 2021, the energy consumption of our factories will be reduced by about 5% year on year. Okay, go on. And in the digitalization of energy, we will also actively lay out and build. We will deploy a large number of smart meter in each product line and visualize energy data representation through IoT technology on our energy online monitoring system. And we can monitor the energy utilization of our company and our production equipment, such as power consumption, heat consumption in real time. Through this online data, we can immediately figure out whether there are any failure or mistake in energy utilization and equipment operations security. And in the future, we will build a large and more advanced smart energy platform that use digital twin technology such as advanced data models to optimize to our energy system to improve the efficiency of our energy use. Okay. In final section, I'm going to talk about life cycle carbon footprint. With the rapid growth of power battery capacity, scale, and volume, the production process of power batteries and upstream and downstream industry chain will generate a large amount of carbon emission. As an important component of the life cycle carbon emission of electricity vehicle, the carbon emission of power batteries have become a core concern in the transportation field. And some data show that the carbon emission of power batteries can occupy to more than 60% the life cycle carbon emission of the electric vehicle. And therefore, in order to better save the goal of dual carbon goals, our company is currently building a carbon footprint certification system for the whole life cycle of our products. You can see the picture on the screen. There is the battery carbon footprints from the meaning of raw material. And then to the transportation material, then to the manufacturing and use of batteries, and finally to the recycling battery. The carbon footprint generated by this process will be managing and limited. And our goal this year is to calculate and tracing the carbon emission of the entire power battery chain and give a quick action plan to manage our carbon footprints. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Jack Wang, for introducing EVE's carbon reduction actions. We can see that EVE has invested a lot of technical innovation and achieved efficient energy management on the road to carbon neutrality, and has achieved significant results in reducing carbon emissions. Now, here is Chloe Zhang. She is going to give a comprehensive introduction to our energy storage products. Welcome.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Hi friends, this is Chloe from ESS Sales Center. Firstly, I would like to briefly talk about why we need ESS. In the context of global carbon neutrality, the proportion of renewable energy power generation has increased. But the intermittency and instability of wind and solar energy, as well as the problem of grid accommodation, urgently need the flexible resources, which is ESS, to fill the gap. And then household ESS and utility ESS are needed. EVE as a professional lithium battery platform company, our development cornerstone always is the cell. According to the different household ESS requirements for cycle life, energy density, and capacity, EVE provides three prismatic LFP cell for recommended. The first is LF32 with 32 ampere hour, 141 watt-hour per kilogram, and more than 3,500 cycles at 25 degrees. The second one is LF50K with 50 ampere hour and 114 watt-hour per kilogram, also with the more than 7,000 cycles at 25 degrees. The third one is the LF90K. It weighs 90 ampere hour and 144 watt-hour per kilogram with more than 6,000 cycles at 25 degrees. Among them, LF50K is the long cycle cell in EV's prismatic LFP cell series, and the real test data near 10,000 cycles at 25 degrees. If energy density and low cost are considered at the same time, for more than 100 ampere hour cells are recommended here, which are LF100LA with 100 ampere hour and LF105 with 105 ampere hour and LF160 with 160 ampere hour. Also, LF280K with 280 ampere hour. Additionally, we also launched a 20 ampere hour cylindrical LFP cell solution this year named C40 and has already entered SOP. It weighs 40.5 millimeter diameter and 135 millimeter height. The energy density up to 174 watt-hour per kilogram, and also with more than 2,000 cycle life at the condition of 25 degrees, 0.5 C charge and discharge, 100% DOD, and 70% SOH. While increasing the energy density, it also increases the flexibility of the assembling. As the voltage levels of inverters are different, the household ESS products are correspondingly divided into high voltage and low voltage. Solutions range from cells to module and to the pack. For example, we use LF105 cell to assemble into a one parallel 8 series module. The double steel belts design ensures that the initial comprehension force reaches 300 kilogram force, so as to suppress the expansion of the cells and prolong the cycle life. Then two one parallel 8 series modules together with the integrated BMS and cables, assembling to a 51.2 volt and 105 ampere hour battery pack. According to the different needs of customers, standard and customized battery module also can be provided, such as one parallel 4 series, one parallel 8 series, and one parallel 16 series here for your reference. On the other hand, for the utility ESS, whose demands has grown rapidly recent year, considering the needs of cycle life, energy density, and the capacity, EVE has gradually launched the LF50K, LF90K, and the LF280K cells. For the LF50K, it's mainly used for the peak load and the frequency regulation application of 2C charge and discharge. For the LF90K, it's mainly used for the peak load and the frequency regulation of 1C charge and discharge. For the LF280K, it is considered for the 0.5 C charge and discharge of peak load shifting. And this is our LF280K as EV's star product for the utility ESS, which has a large capacity of 280 ampere-hour and a high cycle of 6,000 times. Maximum 1 C charge and discharge. Currently, it has obtained relevant domestic and foreign certifications, such as UN 1973, UL 9540A, IEC 62619, UN 38.3, ROSE, bankability, GBT 36276, etc. At the same time, it is also the cell for our liquid cooling solution. Set a 3.44 megawatt-hour liquid cooling system as example. DC side solutions mainly are these 4 categories here, which are cell, battery pack, battery rack, and the system. EV is flexible to be any one of the roles here to provide customers a quarterly service. Each solution will describe in details below. This is our standard 280 ampere-hour, 153.6 volt liquid cooling pack. Adopt the mature box structure for pressing the cold plate with IP67. Compared with the ordinary air cooling pack, MSD and the maintenance window are equipped, which improve the security and the maintenance flexibility of the battery pack. Then we stack the 8 battery packs in series into a 280 ampere-hour, 1228.8 volt racks as shown here, also together with the PDU. 10 racks will be installed in parallel in the container. A standard liquid cooling 20-foot high container can install up to 3.44 megawatt-hour of battery capacity, which doubles the capacity compared with the air cooling solution with the same cell. At the same time, it is also with low cost, good heat dissipation effort, small temperature rise difference. This is a brief plan view of the liquid cooling system. Racks are neatly placed on the right side of the container, and on the left side are liquid cooling machine and the BCP. We can see that the liquid cooling pipes are one in and one out. 2 packs share one liquid cooling circuit to balance the temperature difference between 2 packs. The overall circuit diagram here will be more clear about the liquid cooling structure. The entire 3.44 megawatt-hour liquid cooling system is designed with 8 battery packs here connected in series to be a battery rack. For a total of 10 battery racks here, 3-level BMS architectural. BAS communicates with the liquid cooling machine and battery through the CAN protocol, and mainly communicate with PCS through RS485, which is mainly according to the PCS protocol. And the protocol between PCS to the EMS is the Ethernet. In addition to our R&D capabilities, EV also attaches great importance to verification and testing in the process. Ensure the rigor of the product development process through project management, quality assurance, problem management, and change management. Strict simulation verification, design verification, product verification, and the certifications are carried out in the process of product design, development, and technology freezing to ensure that the products launched to the market are mature and reliable. At the same time, the development is supported by tools such as theoretical analysis, concept design, structure simulation, design optimization, and design verification. Then we get the result benchmark based on the simulation and design verification test results here. And focus on the product design verification from electrical performance, safety performance, life performance, and environmental adaptability. At our two major production bases, Jinmen and Huizhou, both are equipped with the relevant verification equipment. After full verification and the technology freeze, the product will apply and obtain the third-party certification. Existing UL 9540A attached here for your reference. When our products volume produced online, fully automatic production process and mass management system fully control the manufacturing and the shipping process. There are up to 3,845 production inspection points on the line, and the whole process can be tracked. In the future, we will continue to provide customers with safe and high quality batteries and related solutions and contribute to our country's early realization of the goal of emission peak and carbon neutralization. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe, for your presentations.
Thank you.
Next, we would like to invite Anya Wang from the supply chain to introduce the requirements and actions taken by our company to our suppliers in terms of the dual carbon. Welcome.
Thank you, Ryan. Hello, everyone. This is Anya from EV Supply Chain Center. And today I'll talking about supply chain sustainability. As you can see from this topic, there are basically two sections, supply chain and sustainability. Supply chain is something more than just logistic. It is something like network because it contains like all the stakeholders, customer, supplier, sub-supplier, competitors, and even this whole network. And supply chain is the principle and application of the network. As for sustainability, it is a quite broad concept because it contains three big pillars. First, environmental related. Second, social related. And last, governance related. So when it comes to the supply chain sustainability, it refers to the sustainable development for this whole network, not just singular enterprises or some single organization. It requires like first a system and then a mission. So basically today my topic covers firstly our system and then our mission, and then I will add two examples of our roadmap to illustrate a little more on where we are and what direction that we are heading to. So let's move on. First, this is our system management. This pyramid here are our overview of our EVE supply chain ESG integration system. This system contains a lot of facets and layers here that every enterprise is required for a sustainable development. As for EVE, we starting from our steering committee after combining like a lot of factors, something like our market background, our social environment, and also our government policies and our own directors. Then we have formed our own corporate culture. In EVE, there's a vision here which has been written basically in everybody's laptop. It comes like this: to be the most creative lithium battery company and make outstanding contribution to sustainable development for human beings. See, that demonstrates clear that it is our commitment to fulfill the sustainable needs. And that's not enough, because you can see from the last sentence, to make outstanding contribution to sustainable development for these whole human beings. So it also implicates that it is our requirement to help our supply chain to fulfill it, to make it as well. And this vision will be illustrated and fulfilled by a set of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. These goals are designed by our steering committee, and they have been considered as our guiding line. This guiding line will be analyzed and measured by our strong organizational working groups, which basically contains a lot of cross-functional departments. Let's say carbon strategic department, logistic, procurement, and also system management department. All different departments only because it is meant for overarching, not just solo into a specific one that is separated from others. And every layers here needs to be integrated with other layers. Let's, for example, this organizational working group need a support from our steering committee. And also, this whole achieving progress needs a support from our stakeholders, because the ESG impact depends on our feedback loop. This feedback loop looks like all the information comes from the top layer and then trickling down through every components and layers here in this ecosystem. And then feedback comes from the bottom, from our stakeholders, to inform our decision makers in the top how to improve this ecosystem. As what I mentioned above, what we want is the whole sustainable network, the supply chain, not just singular organization or enterprises. So it is quite crucial for us to be transparent with our stakeholders, to negotiate with them, communicate with them, and make strategies and policies with them, and visualize this process by KPIs, roadmaps that will be agreed by both parties. And also, these policies, strategies here, list here, they really requires a cross-functional cooperation and multi-dimensional knowledges. So its intention is to strengthen our communication and reporting between all the stakeholders here. And its intention also wants to strengthen maximizing the synergies here. Our final target is to let our stakeholders realize that the whole supply chain sustainability is based on our long-term development and basically our own fundamental interests. That's what we want, and that's what our system works. After that, I'm gonna talk about our mission. Enterprises are responsible for their stakeholders, like their employees, their society, and even this country. EV has put ESG in their first place because that's our mission. And you can see there are two lines here. The first line is the guiding line, talking about our mission from different perspectives. And the second line is our specific line that tells in detail that what we have been done to fulfill our strategies and also our missions. Like, for example, focusing on our carbon footprint and also strengthening the supply chain integration to reduce our transportation wastes, and also asking for the third party audit and investigation certificates like IRMA or something. A lot of our suppliers has already got it, and they has been listed in the official website for the IRMA website. And also, we conduct due diligence investigation at the early stage, and then applying for driving sustainability for different OEMs in the international, and then stay really close to the UN 17 SDGs. Among all these missions here, I'm gonna pick 2 of them to tell our roadmaps to illustrate a little more on detail. Like, first one, due diligence management. You can see there are 5 steps here. Be transparent with our stakeholders, get certificate from our stakeholders and third-party investigation, and then identify all the ESG-related risks before selecting them as our new supplier, maximizing the synergies and striving to reach that common consensus with them. Like, for example, if we want our supplier to avoid using like material from high risk area, conflict area, then will be so highly required that they be transparent with us. Establishing their third-party investigation, get certificate, and risk analysis system with us. Their certificate not only needs to share with us, but also other external stakeholders. And before we having this investors and also this business cooperation with them, we will identify all the ESG risks like their working condition, environment management ability, safety and health, and so on. EV has managed to striving to maximizing the synergies, collaborate with our stakeholders, and also strive to reaching that same value together. Next, that will be our carbon footprint. This is what we have been done. And you can see there are also 5 steps here. Be transparent with our stakeholders, get the commitment from our steering committee, and making this target with our top management, and then get these strategies with our stakeholders, that these strategies has been agreed with them, and then negotiate. Right now, we are in the negotiation process to make it a little more smoother in the whole process. To make myself a little clear, I'm gonna share one example of how we're right now calculating our carbon footprint and what we have been done in detail. This is our whole overview that what we have been done for carbon footprint. On this left side, here are the level that we can reach now, A level, carbon emission data per watt hours, and then here are the target level, that how much we can done. And if we want to reach from A level to B level, then here are the strategies. Just besides these circles, these strategies we have communicated and agreed with our stakeholders, like using 100% renewable energy precursor, 100% renewable energy cathode material. And just below them, this square there are this reduction data that they can contribute for our cells, for our product. And for this green one, other ones has already been agreed with our top management, and the yellow one are the ones that needs to be negotiated to be improved. On this left side, here are the ones, our target level, B level, the composition of how is the carbon emission per watt hours made of, like including our cathode, anode, separator, electrolyte cell can, aluminum foil, and so on. Also including our manufacturing process. This is all we have been done for our carbon footprint. And by quantifying all this data here, there's a lot of benefit. Like, for example, it can create an environmental competitive environment for our suppliers by introducing this data into our selection process, and also identifying the biggest portion, the smallest portion, to see where is the one that we need to reduce our carbon the most, and also to see if there's any changes during the whole process to identify a risk in early stage. There are a lot of benefits here, and this is just one example that we have been done. We know that sustainability in this whole network takes a long time, but we'll stick to it and hope that the same value will be shared and also the consensus will be reached by all the stakeholders here. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anya, for your introduction.
Thank you, Ryan.
Now let's invite Jack Wang for introducing EVE company. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Jack Wang, Carbon Management Engineer in EVE Company. In this part, I'm going to talk about the EVE company profile and the induction. EVE Energy is a high-quality lithium battery platform company, providing customer with comprehensive solution for customer and power battery. And products are widely used in IoT technology and energy internet, institute on innovation-driven development. The company was founded in 2001, and our stock code is SA.300014. And EVE Energy has 6 production sites in China and set up sales company and office in Changzhou, Jiangsu province, Hong Kong, Taiwan, the United States, and Germany, and other base like long-term distributor or strategy partner are throughout EU and Asia, forming a global sales and service network. And Dr. Liu Jinchen, the founder of EVE and also the president of the Research Institute, he has been engaged in the research of lithium batteries for more than 37 years. His research institute is led by more than 60 doctors and has R&D teams of more than 2,000 people. There are 50 battery research centers and 10 large-scale labs, more than 200 high-precision equipment, and participates in the formulation of more than 6 industry standards. And our main products are lithium primary battery, small lithium-ion battery, small cylindrical cells, and below the picture, there is the ES batteries, and going on from the figure, as we can see in the picture, there are a lot of tools for our products. There are about 12 application scenario in a family. For example, smart meters, smart security like small detectors, automotive electronic like T-box, intelligent transportation like ETC, TWS headsets, and small wearables like small watch and band, and other things like power tools, garden tools, and light electric vehicle, vacuum cleaner. And EV helps us to realize the infinite possibility of lithium battery and smart life. And there will be more customer scenario application related to our battery in the future. Okay, moving the next part. In the application market part, our power batteries serve Daimler, Hyundai Kia, and other international car companies, and have received long-term orders from BMW Group of Germany, Jaguar Land Rover, and are widely used in the market of sustainable energy passenger cars and buses and special purpose vehicle. Electro ship and electro power storage, communication, energy storage, and home energy storage. According to the data of Industries Institution, global power battery installed capacity in the first half of 2021. EV energy ranks around the top 10 in the world. Power battery is the key development direction of our company. We will maintain rapid growth in the future. And under the accelerated transformation of global vehicle electrification and the promotion of dual carbon policy, EV respond to the call to make outstanding contribution to human sustainable development by actively laying out in the trillion-dollar market of power energy storage. In the 2025, our company strive to achieve a revenue of more than 100 billion in our company. And this year, our company's goal is to become a top 5 global power battery company with a market share of over 10% in 2030. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wang, for your introduction to our EVV company. Now, here is Chloe Zhang. She is going to give a comprehensive introduction to our energy storage products. Welcome.
Thank you, Ryan. Hi, friends. This is Chloe from ESS Sales Center. Firstly, I would like to briefly talk about why we need ESS. In the context of global carbon neutrality, the proportion of renewable energy power generation has increased, but the intermittency and the instability of wind and solar energy, as well as the problem of grid accommodation, urgently need flexible resources, which is ESS, to fill the gap. At this time, household ESS and utility ESS are needed. EV as a professional lithium battery platform company, our development cornerstone always is the cell. According to the different household ESS requirements for cycle life, energy density, and capacity, we recommend 3 prismatic LFP cell with less than 100 ampere hour recommended here. The first is LF32 with 32 ampere hour and 141 watt hour per kilogram and more than 3,500 cycles at 25 degrees. The second one is LF50K with 50 ampere hour and 114 watt hour per kilogram, more than 7,000 cycles at 25 degrees. The third one is LF90K with 90 ampere hour and 144 watt hour per kilogram and more than 6,000 cycles at 25 degrees. Among them, LF50K is the longest cycle cell in EV's prismatic LFP cell series. The real test data near 10,000 cycles at 25 degrees. If energy density and low cost are considered at the same time, for more than 100 ampere-hour cells recommended here, which are LF100LA with 100 ampere-hour and LF105 with 105 ampere-hour, LF160 with 160 ampere-hour, and also LF280K with 280 ampere-hour. Additionally, we also launched a 20 ampere-hour cylindrical LFP cell solution this year, named C40, and already has entered SOP. It weighs 40.5 millimeters diameter, 135 millimeters height, energy density up to 174 watt-hour per kilogram, and the cycle life with more than 2,000 cycles at the condition of 25 degrees, 0.5 C charge and discharge, 100% DOD, and 70% SOH. While increasing the energy density, it also increases the flexibility of assembling. As the voltage levels of household ESS are different, the household ESS products are correspondingly divided into high voltage and low voltage. Solutions range from cells to modules and packs. For example, we use LF105 cells from a 1 parallel 8 series module. The double steel belts design ensures the initial comprehension force reaches 300 kilogram force, so as to suppress the expansion of cells and prolong the cycle life. Then 2 1 parallel 8 series modules together with the integrated BMS and cables assembling to a 51.2 volt 105 ampere-hour pack here. According to the different requirements of customers, standard and customized modules also can be provided here, such as 1 parallel 4 series, 1 parallel 8 series, 1 parallel 16 series modules here for your reference. On the other hand, for the utility ESS, whose demands has grown rapidly in recent years, considering the needs of cycle life, energy density, and capacity, EV has gradually launched LF50K, LF90K, and LF280K cell. For the LF50K, it is mainly used in the application of peak load and the frequency regulation of 2C charge and discharge. For the LF90K, it is mainly used for the peak load and frequency regulation of 1C charge and discharge. For the LF280K, it is considered for the 0.5C charge and discharge of peak load shifting. This is our LF280K cell as EV's star product for the utility ESS, which has a large capacity of 280 ampere-hour and a high cycle of 6,000 cycles, maximum 1C charge and discharge rate. Currently, it has obtained relevant domestic and foreign certifications such as UL 9073, UL 9540, IEC 62619, UN 38.3, ROSE, bankability, GBT 36276, etc. At the same time, it is also the cell used for our liquid cooling system. Set a 3.44 megawatt-hour liquid cooling system as the example. DC-side solutions mainly are these four categories, which are cell, battery pack, battery rack, and the system. EVE is flexible to be any one of the rower here to provide customers a corresponding services. Each solution will describe in details below. This is our standard 280 ampere-hour, 153.6 volt liquid cooling battery pack. Adopt the mature box structure for pressing the cold plate with IP67. Compared with the ordinary air cooling pack, MSD and maintenance windows are equipped, which improve the safety and the maintenance flexibility of the battery pack here. Then we stack 8 battery packs in series into a 280 ampere-hour and 1228.8 volt racks as shown here, also together with the PDU. 10 racks will be installed in series in the container. A standard liquid cooling 20-foot high container can store up to 3.44 megawatt-hour of battery capacity, which doubles the capacity compared with the air cooling solution with the same cell. At the same time, it also with low cost, good heat dissipation effort, small temperature rise difference. This is a brief plan view of the liquid cooling system. Racks are neatly placed on the right side of the container, and the left side are liquid cooling machine and PCB. We can see that the liquid cooling pipes are one in and one out. 2 packs share one liquid cooling circuit to balance the temperature difference between 2 packs. And this is the overall circuit diagram here. Will be more clear about the diagram structure. The entire 3.44 megawatt-hour liquid cooling system is designed with 8 packs connected in series to be a battery rack, and for a total of 10 battery racks. 3-level BMS architecture. BMS communicates with the liquid cooling machine and the battery through CAN protocol, and mainly communicates with the PCS through RS485, which is matched according to the PCS protocol. And the protocol between PCS and the EMS is the Ethernet. In addition to the R&D capabilities, EVE also attaches great importance to verification and testing in the process. Ensure the rigor of the product development process through project management, quality assurance, problem management, and change management. Strict simulation verification, design verification, product certification are carried out in the process of product design, development, and technology freezing to ensure that products launched to the market are mature and reliable. At the same time, the development is supported by tools such as the theoretical analysis, concept design, structure simulation, design optimization, and design verification. Then we get the result benchmark based on the simulation and design verification test results. And focus on the product design verification from electrical performance, safety performance, life performance, and the environmental adaptability. At our 2 main production bases, Jinmen and Huizhou, both are equipped with the relevant verification equipment. After full verification and the technology freeze, the product will apply and obtain the third-party certification. Existing UL 9540A here attached for reference. When our products volume produced online, fully automatic production process and mass management system fully control the manufacturing and shipping process. There are up to 3,845 production inspection points on the line, and the whole process can be tracked. In the future, we will continue to devote ourselves to provide customers with safe and high-quality batteries and related solutions, and contribute to our country's early realization of the goal of carbon neutralization. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe, for your presentation. Thank you. And now I will lead you to the section on EVE's mission and pursuit of sustainable human development. Since the third of Industrial Revolution, mankind has been recklessly emitting for the benefit of its own development. To cope with the global warming trend, many countries have committed to achieve carbon neutrality by the middle of this century, which is a great common goal for mankind, and no country or individual can do it alone. As a company rooted in the new energy industry, it is our mission to solve the existing challenges for the sustainable future of mankind. And carbon neutrality is also our ultimate goal. And we will contribute to the green and sustainable development of mankind and create a better world through our personal actions and efforts to maximize the reduction of carbon emissions generated in the production process. In the coming days, we will realize the operation mode of Blacklight Factory and unmanned factory by means of artificial intelligence and big data to further reduce our energy consumption by improving production efficiency and labor productivity. Besides putting efforts on the production side, it is also EVE's mission to drive sustainable and low carbon development by technological innovation and product innovation. In order to be a good leader on the road to zero carbon, our R&D team will develop more efficient and safer low-carbon solutions like the LF218K energy storage system introduced by our Chloe Zhang. It is only meaningful to make greater and innovative low-carbon products for the market and customers, and work together with everyone for the zero carbon goal for mankind. On the supply chain side, we will continue to work on building a low-carbon supply chain and continue to call on upstream and downstream companies to join in the energy saving and carbon reduction efforts. In order to reduce the carbon footprint in our supply chain, we will also share our energy saving courses and urge our partners to carry out energy saving and emission reductions efforts to strengthen the carbon reduction awareness and capability of our suppliers. In addition, when we select new suppliers, we will give priority to companies with high utilization of renewable energy and low energy consumption per unit of product, which is an important part of creating a new supplier. We will also gradually require our supplier network to make carbon emission disclosure in order to promote and realize the whole life cycle carbon footprint management system of the whole battery from cradle to grave as soon as possible. Thank you all for your patience. And now, we would like to invite our guests today, Jack Wang, Anya Wang, and Chloe Zhang, to join us for a roundtable where we will discuss together about EV's dual carbon theme to give our listeners a deeper understanding of EV's low carbon path. Okay, let's get started. Okay, thank you. And now there is some questions I want to ask you. First of all, for low carbon production, I am equally concerned about the low carbon supply chain network. So may I ask Anya, what are the most crucial methods of EVE supply chain to contribute to carbon emission reductions?
Okay, Ryan, thank you. That is really a great question. We have some methods, and we want to share with guys. But before that, I want to show you our missions, why we're choosing these missions from this certain perspective, because that's why our methods comes from. So first, climate change. Climate change is one of the most common challenge that all human beings now face on. So coping with climate change is something like the development of China and the destiny of mankind. So IEV has playing a really high priority on that. We overcome our own economic and social problem to that, and then implementing a series of strategies and actions towards it. Like, for example, participating in the social and international climate governance activities and so on. And for ESG, and according to the Economic Forum in 2020, they're saying that among the top 10 risks that ranked by the probability and occurrences, and also the severity in the next 10 years, the ESG-related risk ranks the highest. So that's why we realize the importance of risk management. So we conduct this code of conduct, sign this contract with them, and also at the same time to develop a series of policies with them and let them know that this due diligence needs to according to the OECD guidelines and to minimizing our risks. And then recycling system. As we all know that sustainability is the definition of meets the needs of present, but without compromising our needs of next generation to meet their needs. So, but resources are limited. So, recycling system is like inevitable and also a really crucial path leading us to sustainability. After talking about mission, then I'm talking about our methods. First, I like to talk about renewable energy. As we all know, that renewable energy is one of the most important and crucial method right now to reduce carbon emission. So we are placed a really high priority on that. Like for example, not only on our cell manufacturing level, but also from our sub-supplier level. We negotiate with them to implementing renewable energy based on a project level. Like for example, for a certain project, we have a target level, target data for them coming from our steering committee, let's say maybe 50 gram. And then we get this data, we have this data breakdown into our cell manufacturing and also our raw material. And then probably our cathode material get like 5 gram per watt hours emission target. And then our anode material get like 4. After they get this data, and then they are able to calculate how much renewable energy that they need to implement it into their production and tell us about their plan in next maybe 5 years, 10 years, and so on. And then I also like to talk about our carbon emission calculation system. We have been done that for a long time and calculating this raw material carbon emission for our suppliers in detail from cradle to gate, from tier 1 to tier N. Their whole life cycle carbon emission data will be analyzed and also calculated from how's the product come out, their production process, procurement process, logistic process, and so on. Right now, we are calculating this data for them, and our next target is to let them calculate themselves and also monitoring this process themselves. There are a lot of benefits, just like I mentioned above, like competitive, like creating a competitive environment for our suppliers and by introducing the data into our selection system and so on. And last, I'd like to talking about something you probably know that secondary metal. It something relates to recycling system. By introducing this raw material, secondary metal into our production, it can create a closed loop. How to say that? This material comes from this production, flows into market, and then this material come back to this production. Then this is a closed loop. So we have been verifying this portion of how much this portion, this secondary material can be put into our production, like 30%, 50, 70, 100. And now we got a result for aluminum right now. 30% is totally fine and without any impact on our cell performances. That's a big milestone for us. And I believe that in the next 10 years, 5 years, we will get more results. And we also hope that all shareholders can share their methods with us. And that's what I want to tell others. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya, for your answers. You make we know we did many efforts in the supply chain, and this is good that here putting a lot of efforts to decarbonizing the supply chain management. Okay, next I would like to ask Ms. Jack. I just heard, Jack, that you have talked about how EVE has put a lot of action into reducing carbon. And through these years of accumulation, I am curious about that. The current carbon emission levels are for EVE's battery products.
Well, for this question, what I think is that through our company's persistent effort to reduce emission and consumption over this year, we have achieved good results in recent year, and up to now, our energy consumption level per unit of products is the leading position in China, lithium battery manufacturing industry. For my conclusion, there are two main factors that keep us ahead of the game. Firstly, and most importantly, our company has made a serious commitment to sustainable development. Our consistent concept of energy saving and emission reduction from top to bottom, represented by our chairman, down to business activities, business divisions, factories, product lines, top management, middle and junior management, and frontline employees. All of them are highly enthusiastic in energy saving and emission reduction work, which enable our company to work as a whole team from top to bottom to ensure the achievement of energy saving target. And secondly, our company has established a full-time energy management department, which is responsible for planning the formulation of energy saving targets. They are promoting the process of energy saving projects and optimization of energy structure. And now the company energy management is coordinated by the energy management department, and the working group members cover all of department, including purchasing department, finance, engineering group, process department, and so on. Apart from that, the president, vice president, department heads, and other senior managers with a total of over 100 people. The energy management department, together with the member of the leader group, we will formulate energy saving targets and plans in line with the actual situation of our company. Take it to the frontline managers with clear division of labor among all departments and efficient cooperation to promote on-site action. Through all of department and deep level communication and collaboration, our energy saving works have been carried out efficiently for many years. I think in the future, while we will firmly promote energy saving and emission reduction, we will also actively establish a carbon footprint system for the whole life cycle of our products. We are going to realize carbon footprint data verification for the whole life cycle of our products in the future. Additionally, our company has formulated a carbon reduction roadmap for the next many years according to our future strategy roadmap, and has carried out a lot of relevant work. We are confident that we can achieve both our company strategy and carbon reduction target within our planning time. And we are fulfill the expectation of our country and society to save human development with greener and lower carbon products. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I think your answer will give our everyone feel more confidence about our EV's products carbon emission. So next, I would like to ask Ms. Chloe, what are the advantages of our energy storage products compared to the liquid-cooled system you mentioned before? And what are the current certification of EV's energy storage products?
Yeah, talk about a liquid cooling system, then we will mention to the cells we used in the liquid cooling. This is the LF280 K cell for the liquid cooling. And before we talk about the advantage between liquid cooling and the air cooling, let's remind the advantage of the LF200K cell. This cell is with 280 ampere hour and more than 6,000 cycles at 25 degrees, maximum 1C charge and discharge rate. And let's back to the liquid cooling battery pack and system. I think the most impressive thing for everyone is that under the same container size and the same cell solution, the liquid cooling system can install twice as much capacity as the air cooling system, thereby reducing the cost of the container system. But why? It's because on the basis of ensuring the internal heat dissipation of the battery pack, the gap between the cells is reduced, so that the size of the entire pack is reduced. Then the available space is naturally more. At the same time, not only the space inside the container is fully utilized, but also the internal maintenance is adopted to improve the safety of operators and the flexibility of operation. In terms of the overseas certification, actually on the cell level, our F280K already has the UN 38.3, UL 1973, UL 9540A, IEC 62619. And for the pack and the rack level, testing the UL 1973 and the UL 9540A. And we will get the certification in Q2 this year. Let's see, and looking forward to that.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Compared with the other products, we know that the advantage of our energy storage products. In addition to the low carbon production, I am equally concerned about the low carbon supply chain network. May I ask Anya, what the most crucial methods of EVE supply chain to contribute to the carbon emission reduction?
Thanks, Ryan. That is a great question. And for Eve, we do have some methods to reduce our carbon emission, and I'd like to share with others. First, I'd like to talk about renewable energy. That's the one that is most crucial, important, and also well-known that to reduce carbon emission. So we have put a great priority on that. That's not only implementing renewable energy into our cell manufacturing, but also from our sub-suppliers level. Like for example, when we are communicate with them, negotiate with them to implementing this kind of energy into their production, we will base it on a project level, a certain project. Like for example, like a cylindrical cell, and then we got a target from our top management, like steering committee. They gave us 50 grams per watt hours, and then we would like to let them know the importance of how that per watt hours looks like, and this target this target, we will like have it break down into our cell manufacturing and also our raw materials. That's something we will done for this project. And then our raw material will, suppliers will calculate based on this data, based on this task, like 4 gram or 5 gram per hours to them to calculate how much renewable energy that they need to implement it into their production. And what's their like next plan for 5 years or maybe 10 years, that's something like this. And then second, I would like to share something like carbon emission, the system that we have been done. We have been calculating this data for our suppliers like in detail from cradle to gate, from tier 1 to tier N. And by quantifying all this data together, we will know precisely where is the portion that we need to reduce our carbon emission and to create a competitive environment for our suppliers by introducing this data into our supply selection process. This data will include in the life cycle, which means that all their production process, procurement process, transportation process, all this life cycle data will be calculated and also analyzed. And right now, we are calculating this data for our suppliers. And in one day, we hope that our supplier can calculate for themselves and then monitoring the process for themselves. And maybe probably conducting the third-party investigation and make it professional. And last, I would like to talk something about secondary metal. It belongs to a recycling system, which means that when implementing the secondary metal into our production, this closed loop will be created. Let's put it this way. This material comes from production, flows into market, and then flows back into this production directly. That's the closed loop. How is the closed loop created? This is an environmental friendly method to reduce our carbon emission. And right now, we are verifying how much portion that this secondary metal can be put into our production, like 30%, 50, 70, even 100. And right now, we got a result from aluminum foil. They say that 30% can be totally put into our cell manufacturing and without any impact on our cell performances. This is a big milestone for us. And now I know that in the next 5 years, 10 years, more results will come out. And I hope that all the stakeholders will also give us some suggestion on that. This is something I want to share about how to reduce our carbon emission.
Okay, thank you, Anya, for your answer. And there have many some questions from the internet. So the first is, what cell used on 48 and 4850 and 48100?
I assume the question should be from a customer, and his application is Telecom ESS. Actually, for the Telecom ESS, the overseas voltage normally is 48 volts, and the capacity of the battery pack will be 50 ampere hour, 100 ampere hour, 150 ampere hour, and even 200 ampere hour. According to the different demands of the cycle life of the real application, EV has launched different cycle life cell models to the market. For the 4850 ampere hour battery pack, we have two 50 ampere hour prismatic FP cells. The first is the F50K, as I mentioned before. It weighs more than 7,000 cycles at the 25 degrees, and also with the 3C maximum continuous charge and discharge rate. For the F50F, it will be used in the lower cycle life application. The cell level is more than 1,500 cycles at 25 degrees. And for the rate, it's maximum 1C continuous charge and discharge. Customers can choose one of the 50 ampere-hour cell models according to his cycle life requirements. And for the 48100 battery pack, actually there are mainly 3 100 ampere-hour cells models for choosing. 2 of them with VDA dimension, and they are with the same dimension, same capacity. Both are 100 ampere-hour. Just the difference is the cycle life. The model's name is LF100LA and LF100MA. The difference of them is LF100MA only with more than 2,000 cycles at 25 degrees, and for the LF100LA will be higher with more than 4,000 cycle lives. And the third one is the LF100-05. The dimension will be larger, and normally we will use it LF105 to assembling the battery pack with 4U height, and for the previous 2 models, LF100MA and LF100LA with 3U height battery pack. Just you can choose the models according to your requirements based on the height of the battery pack and the cycle life.
Okay, thank you. It's enough. So that would be all of today's webcast, and next webcast will be held around the topic about lithium batteries solutions for smart metering applications. And the time is 3 p.m. for 11th March Beijing time, or 11 p.m. 10th March USA time, or 8 a.m. 11th March European time. We are looking forward to see you there. Thank you all for your patience. I believe the answers from EVE engineers have given you a deeper understanding of EVE's low carbon products and low carbon solutions. So that's the end of our webcast today. Thank you. Let's all say goodbye to the audiences.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, we would like to invite Anya Wang from the supply chain to introduce the requirements and the actions taken by our company to our suppliers in terms of the dual carbon. Welcome.
Thank you, Ryan. Hello, everyone. This is Anya from EV Supply Chain Center. And today, I would like to talk something about supply chain sustainability. As you can see from this topic, there basically contains two sections, supply chain and sustainability. Supply chain is something more than just logistics. It is a network because it contains all the stakeholders here, like our customer, supplier, sub-supplier, competitors, investors, and even this whole market. And supply chain is the principle and also application of this network. As for sustainability, that is a broad concept because it contains three big pillars: environmental related, social related, governance related. So when it comes to the combination of supply chain sustainability, then it refers to the development of sustainable development of the whole network, not just singular organization or enterprises, which requires at least a system to manage it and also a mission to list it. So today, my topic covers firstly our system, and then our mission, and then I would like to add two examples of our roadmaps to illustrate a little more on where we are now and to what direction that we're heading to. So next, system management. As you can see from this pyramid, this is an overview of our EV supply chain ESG integration system. There are many facets and layers here, which is required basically for every enterprises if this enterprises is aimed for a sustainable development. And as for Eve, we're starting from the steering committee. After combining with our some factor like market background, government policies, and our own development strategic direction, then we have formed our own corporate culture. In Eve, there is a vision here, which has basically written in everybody's laptop. It comes like this: to be the most creative lithium battery company and make outstanding contribution to the whole sustainable development for human beings. See, that indicates clear that it is our commitment to fulfill the requirements of sustainability. And also, from this last sentence, you will see that it's not enough because this last sentence says like this: to make outstanding contribution for human beings. It implicates as well that we need to help our supply chain to fulfill it, to make it as well. And this vision will be fulfilled, illustrated by SDGs, a set of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which is designed by our steering committee. They has been considered as our guiding line, and this guiding line will be analyzed, measured by our strong organizational working group. This working group basically contains a cross-functional department, like for example, our carbon strategic department, logistic, procurement, technical, and even system management department. All different departments only because It is meant for overarching, not just soloed into a specific one that is separated from others. As I mentioned about, all the layers here needs to be integrated and also aligned with other layers. Like, for example, this strong organizational working group needs to be supported by our steering committee. The whole achieving process needs the feedback from our stakeholders because the ESG impact depends on the feedback loop. How to say that? The information comes down from the top and then trickling down through every layers here, every components here, and then we get feedback come from our communication, from our stakeholders to inform our decision makers at the top how to improve this ecosystem, right? As I mentioned about, what we want is the whole sustainable organization, not just a singular enterprises. So it is quite crucial for us to be transparent with our stakeholders, communicate with them, negotiate with them, make those strategies and policies to realize our mission, and visualize this KPI and the roadmaps in the process. This whole policies, strategies will be agreed by both parties, and it requires a cross-functional knowledge and also multi-dimensional cooperation. Its intention just to strengthen the communication and reporting among all the stakeholders here, no matter it is information comes from externally or internally. That's a big deal. And our final target is to let all stakeholders realize that sustainability is based on our long-term development and also fundamental interests. So ESG, in this sense, has become a reflection of our corporate culture, but takes a broader implication, right? So next, I'm going to talk about our mission. Enterprises are responsible for their employees, society, and this country. And EV has placed ESG in our first place because that's our mission. That's our mission. You can see there are two lines here. The first line is our guiding line, missions from different perspectives, like climate change, carbon peak and carbon neutrality, ESG, responsible supply chain, reusing, recycling, and renewable energy. As for the second line, it's more specific one that illustrate what we have been done for this mission, for these strategies. Like, for example, our carbon footprint, supply chain integration to reduce any transportation wastes, and carrying out this third-party audit and certificate, like some IRMA certificate, RMI certificate. Some of our supplier has already got it. And, they have been listed publicly and transparently on this RMI website. And carrying out due diligence at an early stage to avoid risks. Applying for driving sustainability for different OEMs and also stay close to the UN 17 SDGs. Before I'm going to talking about our roadmaps, I'm gonna share why we're using these missions from this certain perspective. Like, for example, climate change. Climate change is a common challenge for human beings. Coping with climate change is something to do with the development of China, the destiny of mankind. So EV has played a really great priority here to coping with climate change, overcoming our own social and economic problems, to implement a set of strategies, measures to coping with climate change, like something participating in the international climate governance activities and so on. As for carbon emission, that's kind of a hot topic, right? Especially after this carbon peak, carbon neutrality, this concept has been released by our government. And we does not only focus on our EVE level, but also focusing on our suppliers level, especially with those high emission rates and high energy consuming. Like for example, our cathode, anode, copper and aluminum foil and so on. We encouraging them to implementing those low carbon green technology into their production. And our target is to reach this carbon peak and the carbon neutrality before the time that is required by our government and also our customer. As for ESG and the responsible supply chain, according to the Economic Forum in 2022, the risk reports saying that among the top 10 risks ranked by the probability of occurrences and severity in next 10 years, the ESG-related risk ranks the highest. Then EVE has realized the importance of risk management. We does not only sign this contract with our suppliers in our framework to say what kind of code of conduct that our supplier needs to comply with, but also we would design a series of policies on raw material sourcing. This policies is based on OECD due diligence guideline to minimize our risks. And for reusing, recycling, and renewable energy, that's kind of obvious, right? Because we all know that sustainability refers to the development that fulfills the needs at present, but without compromising the needs of our next generation to fulfill their needs. So that's kind of like inevitable and also crucial path to leading us to sustainability. And then among all the topics here, I'm gonna choose two of them: due diligence and the carbon footprint, to illustrate on our roadmap what we have been done. First, this is our due diligence. You can see there are only 5 steps here. Important. Be transparent with our stakeholders, get third-party certificate, audit, and also identify all the ESG-related risks before the time that we selected them as our new suppliers to avoid problem at an early stage. And then maximizing the synergies of all stakeholders, reach a common consensus together. Like for example, if we want to avoiding a supplier to using raw material from high-risk area, conflict area, then it's highly required that our supplier to be transparent with us, establishing their risk analysis and also third-party investigation system, not only with us, but also the external stakeholders, all the investors there. And then during this business cooperation with them, we would take all the ESG into consideration, like their working condition, environmental management ability, safety, health, human rights, ethical, all of them, to avoid any problems. And also, EVE has striving to collaborate with other stakeholders, hope that in one day we can share the same value together. And next, I'm gonna talk about carbon emission. That's kind of important. There are also 5 steps here. Transparent with our stakeholders, get support from our committee, and also get target from our top level, communicate and negotiate the strategies with our stakeholders. 4 of them has already been reached, and now we are in this negotiation process with our stakeholders, improving the carbon footprint, how we are managing it. To make myself a little clear, I'm gonna share one example that what we have been done for carbon reduction. This is kind of complex, right? But actually, no. You can see from this square, this is a level that we can achieve right now. And this is level that we want to achieve A level and B level. If we want to, from A level to B level, then here in the middle, just after below the circle, there are the strategies that we have been agreed with our stakeholders, like 100% renewable energy precursor, 100% renewable energy cathode. And just below them, there are the the calculated remission data that they have contributed to our cells, to our products. For the green one, are the ones that has already been agreed by our top management, and the yellow one are the ones still needs to be negotiated. On the right side, here are the composition of how the target level, B level, is composed of, including all the cell manufacturing material and also our cell manufacturing process. By quantifying all this data together, we have a lot of benefit. Like, for example, creating a competitive environment for our suppliers by introducing this data into our selection process. And also identify if there's any changes during this whole production coming out process. And then to identify the biggest portion, the smallest portion, to find out specific way to reduce our carbon emission. This is just one example of our one product here in NIF. And we know that sustainability in this whole network takes a long time, but we still strive to it and hope that in one day we can share the same value together and reach a common consensus together by all the stakeholders. And thank you.
Thank you, Anya Wang, for your introduction to the supply chain.
Thank you.
Okay, let's into the next section. Now we would like to invite Jack Wang for introducing EVE company. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jack Wang, a carbon management engineer from EVE Energy. In this part, I'm going to talk about the EVE company profile and the introduction. EVE Energy is a high-quality lithium battery platform company providing customer with comprehensive solution for customer and power batteries. And products are widely used in the Internet of Things technology and the Energy Internet Institute on Innovation-Driven Development. The company was founded at 2001. Our stock code is SZ.300014. And EVE Energy has 6 production sites in China, as you can see in the picture, and set up sales companies and office in Changzhou Province, Hong Kong, Taiwan, the United States, and Germany. And the other base like a long-term distributor or a strategic partner are throughout Europe and Asia. Forming a global sales and service network. And go on. This part is introduce our research institute. This is our president, Dr. Liu Jincheng, and he has been engaged in the research of lithium battery for more than 37 years. His research institute is led by more than 60 doctors and has a R&D of more than 2,000 people. There are 50 battery research centers and 10 large-scale labs, more than 200 high-precision equipment. And we are participating in the formulation of more than 60 industry standards. And our main products are a lithium primary battery and small lithium-ion battery and small cylindrical cells. And below the picture, we can see the ESS battery in the screen. And go on. And from the figure, we can see that EV's customer batteries can be used in at least 12 application scenario in a family. For example, smart meters and smart security like smoke detectors, automotive, electronic like T-box, intelligent transportation like ETC in our cars, and TWS headsets help us to listen music, and smart wearable and smart watch and band, power tools, garden tools, light electric vehicle, vacuum cleaner, and other things related our battery or products. EV helped us to realize the infinite possibility of lithium batteries and smart life. And there will be more customer scenario application related our batteries in the future. In the application market part, our power batteries serve Daimler, Hyundai, Kia, and other international car companies. And we have received long-term order from BMW Group of Germany and Jaguar Land Rover, and we widely used in the market of sustainable energy passenger cars and buses and special purpose vehicle, and some electric power storage, and some communication energy storage, and home energy energy storage. According to the data of industry institution, the global power battery install capacity in the first half of 2021, EV energy ranks among the top 10 in the world. Power battery is the key development direction of our company, where it will maintain rapid growth in the future. And the final section under the accelerated transformation of global vehicle electrification and the promotion of dual carbon policy, EV respond to a call to make outstanding contribution to human sustainable development by actively lay out in the trillion-dollar market of power energy storage. In 2025, our company strive to achieve a revenue of more than 100 billion. Our company's goal this year and in the future is to become top 5 global power battery companies with a market share of over 10% in 2030. And that's all my presentation. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Zhang, Ms. Wang, for your presentation. And now we would like to invite our experts today on the stage, and we will thank you for your efforts to our carbon emission reduction. And now we would like to be today, and our next webcast will be held around the topics about lithium battery solutions for smart metering applications. And the time is 3 p.m. 11th March Beijing time, or 11 p.m. 10th March USA time, or 8 a.m. 11th March European time. We will looking forward to see you there. Okay, it's time to say goodbye to our audiences. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
他不听，你不能听。